What is up, guys? Arm here today, and today I have for you another video here. So in this one, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the first things to do after level 50, a remake, if you will, after the Secrets of the Stratus update. So some of the stuff in the old video is kind of outdated, as has been pointed out in the comment section, so we're going to try and go through and basically give you an idea of what you should be doing as soon as you hit level 50. So first and foremost, what you're going to want to do as soon as you hit level 50 is finish off the story. You're going to hit level 50 at about chapter 30-ish of the main story of Act 4, and you're going to want to go all the way through Act 7. So why do you want to do this? Well, there's a few reasons. So first and foremost, it gives you all of the stuff you need to upgrade your weapon. So if I go to Manage Equipment and I go and look at the Search the Equipment Path upgrades, so you get the Ivory Moon weapon at about level 45-ish, 46, somewhere in that area, and then you can upgrade this weapon. So the way that they changed it with the Secrets of the Stratus update is that every story quest after after the main story quest, so Acts 5, 6, and 7, give you upgrade materials for these weapons. And actually, they give you every single upgrade material you need except for Silver Frost Transformation Stones, this item here, that you have to buy in the marketplace or make them through Soul Wardens. But it gives you every other item that you need, so Soulstone Crystals, Elysian Crystals, Soul Stones, all sorts of things, everything that you need to get all the way up to True Ivory Moon, so right before the Baleful or Seraph upgrade selection. So you really need to play through the story because it gives you a ton of bonus attack power simply for completing the story by upgrading your weapon. It gives you the gold you need to make the upgrades. It gives you literally everything. So that's the first reason you got to play through the story. Second one is it also gives you all of the Lucent Jewelry now. Acts 5 and 6 now give Lucent Jewelry as their rewards. So the Lucent Jewelry is one step up from the Ivory Moon, and you used to have to farm for this Lucent Jewelry. So you're going to want to play through the story to go ahead and get the Lucent Jewelry. So aside from equipment, it also gives you a couple of nice gems. So it gives you this Flawless Sparkling Ruby for additional attack power, a Hexagonal Peridot, actually not the Peridot, that was from the event. Its Hexagonal Citron is awarded, and the Hexagonal Sapphire. I discussed those in my video about what rewards you get for completing Secrets of the Stratus, but those are Secrets of the Stratus update rewards. So the next thing you're going to want to look at is upgrading your soul. So you're going to get the Moonwater Soul in the update. So after playing through the new story quest, you're going to get this Moonwater Soul. It gives you 10 attack power, but as you can see, there's a whole lot of different upgrades you can do with this, all the way up to True Ivory Moon. So this Moonwater Soul requires actually quite a bit of materials to upgrade. You need 5 Elysian Orbs, you need 5 of those Demon Stones, and 5 Naryu Tablets. So these items are actually rather expensive if you actually look at it in the marketplace. We're going to look at the Elysian Orb real quick. So Elysian Orb. And you see they're going for 8 gold apiece. So that means just outright this upgrade is going to cost you at least 40 gold. So is there another way to do this? Well, there is actually. You can build the Hung Moon Energy Stage 1 by buying some items called the Oathbreaker set. So this Oathbreaker set, Oathbreaker, and we'll go Blade. So there's 3 pieces to this. There's a Blade, False Edge, and Sword Point. So the Blade is usually really cheap, under a gold, as you can see. And as you can see, if you put all the pieces together, you get Hung Moon Energy Stage 1 as the fully upgraded item. So it'll save you some time here. So anyway, so you're looking at about 70 silver for this piece. And if you look at the Oathbreaker point, you'll see it's going for 5 gold. So still not too bad cost-wise. However, the False Edge ends up being the most expensive piece. So on NA, it is going for 34 gold, which is actually a lot cheaper than it used to be. It used to be around 60 gold. So this is pretty cheap, though. All things considered, you're looking at about 40 gold instead of having to buy the other stuff and farm the other stuff. So use the Naryu Tablets, get the Demon Spirit Stones. Instead of having to go through all that for the same price, you can basically get the upgrade. So this is a more efficient way to get that. So that's another thing you should look at getting, is upgrading your Moonwater Soul up to the Hung Moon Energy Stage 1. Alright, next thing you're going to want to look into doing is upgrading your gauntlet or your weapon or your sword or whatever weapon that you have up to the Baleful or Seraph. So to go from the True Ivory Moon that you'll get from completing the story up to Baleful, you need a couple of things. So first and foremost that you see there is these things called Flower of Laments. And actually, it's not going to work if I go that way. We'll go through this and then view upgrade materials. Why isn't it working? View upgrade materials. So as you see, we need Flowers of Lament. So the Flower of Lament only drops from Sogan's Lament, essentially. It's the easiest way to get it, rather. So you need to run Sogan's Lament at least 10 times. From every single run I've ever seen, it always drops at least one Flower of Lament. Now, the other thing is, you get Petals of Lament from running Sogan's Lament as well. So 5 of these Petals of Lament can be combined together to form a Flower of Lament. So you're going to need to run the dungeon 9 times and win the bid on the Flowers of Lament. Because the dungeon pretty much always rewards you with a single Petal of Lament from the chest at the end. So that's one of the things you need to do. So you need to run Sogan's Lament over and over to get these Flower of Laments. The Silverfrost Transformation Stones, as I said, you got to buy them on the marketplace or craft them yourselves. Naryu tablets aren't too hard to come by, and then these upgrade materials are also kind of a bit of a pain to come by. However, Soul Stones are relatively cheap, but these Moonstones are super expensive on the marketplace now. Their price has doubled basically since the Secrets of the Stratus update. So you need to basically make sure you're winning those bids on those pouches, those treasure pouches that drop from dungeons, because they have pretty good odds of dropping Moonstone or Elysian Crystals. Anyway, then you also need this thing called a Darkstone or a Lightstone. So these Darkstone or Lightstones is purchased from the Dragon Express, and it is located right here. So you can either buy it for a premium Silverfrost Transformation Stone, which is going to set you back a lot of gold, or you can just keep running dungeons until you get 200 Silverfrost Refining Stones. That one's not too hard, and if you've been playing the game for a while, you're actually going to realize that you probably have 200 of those just sitting in your inventory if you haven't been discarding them. So it's not too bad to just go ahead and farm the dungeons. It'll take you a couple of days really to get these items. So that is that. So when you get all this together, you'll be able to upgrade into Baleful or Seraph, and then you basically continue up the line, seeing what you need to upgrade. So for example, the next one just needs the next one to go from 1 to 2 needs some more of the similar materials that you've been getting. So it basically just turns into a farm fest to continue upgrading your weapons. But you're going to want to make sure you get this first upgrade to the Baleful or Seraph, because the skill bonuses or the stat bonuses that you get from these is really, really useful for both of these weapons. So that is the next thing. So next you're going to want to do is upgrade your jewelry. So jewelry, you'll get the Lucent Gear, as I said, from completing the story. However, there's another set of jewelry above it, so that's the Pinnacle set. Pinnacle set drops from Sogan's Lament, Shatter's Mask, and Gloomdraw's Incursion, these dungeons. So we'll open up the player window and go and look at those real quick. So to run Sogan's Lament, it recommends a little over 600 AP. Realistically, that's about what you'll need. A lot of parties have a lot of better players in it, so you might be able to get through one to get carried, but make sure you know what you're doing before you get into it. I'm actually going to make a video on simple mechanics on this in a little bit, so keep a lookout for that. So that's that one. Next one is Gloomdraw's Incursion, which is super easy. It's like comically easy. The only mechanic on it is that you need to stand behind the seed when it gets thrown and CC the boss. It's not really that bad at all. And then the other one, Shattered Mask, it says just under 600 AP. The more AP, the better, because it lets you skip the mechanics on it, essentially. But yeah, so these 3 dungeons aren't too bad, about 600 AP, which you should have from just finishing the story. It's nothing too crazy to go ahead and get up to these levels of attack power. So it's another reason why, or another things you need to do after finishing is farming these dungeons to get the Pinnacle accessories. So, the final thing we're going to say here is your Soul Shield. So, Soul Shield upgrades are critically important. So, the first one is the MSP. So, most of the classes find good use from this MSP Soul Shield, these first 3 pieces. For example, the Kung Fu Master gets a huge damage bonus on its attacks. So, relatively useful. However, some classes aren't as useful as others, so make sure to look around and see what sorts of classes or what sorts of recommendations people have for Soul Shields. Another Soul Shield that's great to pick up is the Asura Soul Shield. This boosts your critical damage and your attack power. However, it's not as good as the MSP Soul Shield, so if you can go ahead and get more MSP pieces, that would be great, and because it gives you more stats than just the 5 attack power and 7% critical damage. So those are the Soul Shield combos you should be looking for as you go forward. There's other combinations that give better stats and things like that, but this is a pretty generic, good setup for a Soul Shield to be looking at as you get towards the end game here. And yeah, so with that, I think we're going to call this a video. So I hope you found this useful. I hope it gives you an idea of what sorts of things you should be doing now that the Secrets of the Stratus update has dropped. And yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next video. Peace.